So I have a journey that I started about 3 months ago that I feel like I need to share because I think this will help somebody. So my conundrum was the dog food is terrible. We spend stupid money on this dog food. The most expensive dog food at HEB, Kroger, PetSmart. We tried it all. True Foods was the last one we tried, and my dog's breath, well, Lily's breath was awful. You could be 10 feet away from her, and it was just, it was just rancid. You didn't even want to be in the same room with her, and that's very sad. So there was that, and then my mom's dog that I inherited, Coco, went from one of the most beautiful dogs actually in the country. My mom showed this dog, and Coco won a national championship, I think, in 2018. I have pictures and all the little ribbons she won and all that, and the point system she built up. But beautiful, beautiful dog. And then my mom brings Coco back from her road trip for, it was a 2-year road trip. My mom had a handler, my mom's background was, she owned a dog grooming business back in the 70s in Louisiana, showed dogs. We had a dog rotating in and out of our house every 18 months. We had an Afghan that, she won, or placed or whatever the dog ended up doing in the New Orleans dog show. And, that dog was in our household for 18 months, and then my mom would sell it. And we had one dog in our house. His name was Risho. He was a poodle. And he lived to be 18 years old, which was amazing. And then my mom had, a standard poodle that won some division or won overall. I don't remember all the details, but she had a lot of champions, and she was very good, had a great reputation, and people would just buy her dogs and just pay her stupid money for these dogs. So, my mom was really good at determining, bone structure or health and what kind of diets to put them on. And, she was just a really good dog person. So I learned a lot just by osmosis. And in doing that, I took that knowledge and kind of, throughout my life, I'm an athlete. I was into biohacking and trying to push my body to its limits. Well, you can't do that. I'm not going to do it illegally, but I did it through natural supplements and, just what I did for recovery and just all kinds of stuff to, perform at peak level. So now I have kids. I want them to perform at a peak level. And so, I try to eat as healthy as possible. I give them vitamin supplements for just, their daily workouts, their protein building periods, their cut periods. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. It's a total chemical, just balance. And, if you want your kid to show up, race day and perform top level, there's certain foods you want to eat and there's certain things you don't want to eat, acid related. You want them lean and mean and ready to roll. So, but here I am, I'm doing all this for our family, and we're buying this food for our dogs, back to the dogs, that their breath is terrible, their dog poop is humongous. And what I mean by that is if you give somebody, say this, and sorry my fingers are orange from the turmeric, but you give someone this to eat, and they poop out the same mass, your body absorbed nothing. So what I was noticing was the dogs were eating X, and X was coming out. So it's like, what did their body absorb? This stuff is expensive. I'm spending $27 a week on food, but yet I'm seeing the same mass come out. This doesn't make any sense. And their health wasn't, getting better, just kind of stayed status quo, or it got worse. So I one day finally just said, you know what? We're not buying that food anymore. They're going to eat what we eat. So we're in month 3, and all I can tell you is Coco had these giant tumors. And when I say giant, she had tumors the size of this on her body. You almost didn't want to pick her up. Well, I didn't want to pick her up because it was so gross. And I was thinking, man, she's just going to die. She's going to die because she has cancer all over her body. And, it's just the way it is. So, Daisy's young enough. I mean, she's a puppy, so it's just a matter of time. The same stuff I'm feeding the dogs, I mean, they're all going to just die of cancer one day. And that's just the way it is, because we're buying the best food we can at Kroger, PetSmart, and HEB. I mean, I guess this is the way it is now. So anyway, I changed their diet. They are now eating everything that we eat. And what I mean by that is, you go to the Mexican restaurant and you order enchiladas and you don't eat it all and you take it home. It goes in the refrigerator and then it gets mold on it and you throw it in the trash. Not anymore. Now it goes into a bag with other food. Like this is some brisket that I'm feeding the dogs today. I cut it up into small bite-sized pieces. I'm mixing turmeric and ginger in it. All this is for me anyway, and the kids and Paula. So I'm just giving them a little tidbit. Last night they ate asparagus and chicken. And they're excited to eat. And Coco's tumors are 100% gone. And I'm like, okay. So I just cured cancer in a dog? Just by changing their diet from the most expensive food I can buy at Kroger, PetSmart, and HEB. I've tried it all. And it was frustrating because nothing got any better. In less than 90 days, here I am. I'm cooking for my family, and I'm giving the dogs the same food we eat. And Coco, who I thought was on her deathbed, looks like a puppy. Something to be said there. Something to be said about, the pet industry. That food looks amazing on TV. Their commercials are amazing. But the results I was getting was not good. So I'm kind of excited to share this because I think this is it's creating less work for me. I'm not having to throw this food away in the trash can. I'm spending less money buying this food. I'm not buying anything at all. It's just the leftovers, and it's all the food I'm feeding everybody anyway. I'm not, I don't know how much food I throw away a year, but I bet you everyone, I can't be the only one that goes to a restaurant and comes home with, 3 or 4, to-go containers that end up getting mold on them and thrown away. All that's being used now. Chinese food, Mexican food, Italian food. They're eating pasta. I'm feeding my dogs pasta. They're eating everything, and they love it. This turmeric and this ginger that I'm mixing in there, they love it. I'm like, what? I'm waiting for something that I give them that they, just turn their nose up to. They're eating everything, and they look amazing. Anyway, just some food for thought. Cheers.